see how all of them, none of them brought up finances really. None of them brought up like the way you look. None of them talked about like what you wear. And all of it is about character. It's
Sneako
about
took the TradCon pill, bro.
Yeah,
it's about your personality.
This nigga got it's like a abroad. It's important because the new name is Sneako.
Sneako. 2023.
But why is that a priority over having a family? Like, why would that even be advice? Why would that be a male self-improvement advice? Be a playboy instead of raise a family. Well, we make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss queens and sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys be a playboy instead of raise a family. That's the same advice on the other side.
Because here's the thing: when you're a playboy, you're going to be better at raising the family, and the reason.
But he's saying avoid family creation.
Well, he's saying to be a high value. He's talking from the frame, knowing Rolo because I know him personally. He's talking from the frame of being a guy getting a lot of girls. And then, if you decide you want to get a family down the road, you can always unsnip and then go ahead and go down the family route. But in today's day and age, I agree to a degree that you need to have sex with at least 50 girls as a guy. I've talked about that all the time. It's controversial. But the reason why I say that is because most women are more promiscuous than most guys. So if you're a dude and you're getting out here and dating girls and you get your pee-pee wet with the first girl, she could sell you a dream and you'll be like, oh, yeah, this is great. So guys got to get out there and be sexually experienced. So he's talking from the frame of being attractive.
I think most guys out here are not going to be able to control their sexual urges. So he's saying
dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The quickest path to becoming a high value man. Do not get married, avoid family creation, vasectomy in your 20s, live consistently, eliminate all sedations, learn game and networking, play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. He's talking about increasing your value when you're young.
Becoming successful.
Yeah. Avoid family creation and get a vasectomy.
Yeah, because when you because your value doesn't go up until you're built something, and that's typically going to be in your 30s.
So most guys,
that's what he's saying.
What do they focus on? Girls the whole time. He's saying at this point in your career, when you're on the way up, focus on things that are going to help you move forward in life and become successful.
Yeah. And get a surgery done that prevents you from having children.
Yeah, but you can always reverse it.
That's not like a lot of the times that shit messes up. That's not something you could just like hope that it's going to be okay.
Generally, most men can't control their urges, so what's going to happen is they're going to go fuck around and get somebody pregnant.
This is how you rise up the path to become high status, because you're eliminating all variables that can fuck you up.
Yeah, it's about
what he's saying.
Risk mitigation right there.
How many dudes do you know that could have made it to the NBA or could have been a star and an athlete or something that got some chick pregnant?
Yeah.
Like kids a lot of the times ruin dudes' futures because they have kids prematurely. So he's saying this is the path to becoming a high value man. And then once you become that guy,
reverse the vasectomy.
Reverse the vasectomy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good advice? I mean, that's good advice if your qualifications of a high value man is a guy with a big body count. But it might be like I thought.
No. He's talking about increasing your value as a man. You're basically what he's doing is he's retard proofing it.
Yeah.
If you have vasectomy and you bust nuts at girls, you're not going to have a kid, so you're not going to fuck up your future when you're young and you're not in a position to raise that child. That's what he's saying.
We all know what is men's biggest weakness: women. And as a result, what happens is, what's another factor for not having success? Having a kid too early. That's reality.
That's the number one wealth killer, dude.
Yeah,
kids. If you really look at it, it's the number one wealth killer.
Now, once again, we support families.
Yeah, we do.
But at the same time, for what he's saying to become successful at a young age,
you can't say that you support families and also tell your audience to get a vasectomy.
We didn't say that. We just said you're
toting the fence about it.
We're explaining why he said that.
Do you agree?
I understand why he said it.
You see how you're ducking? You see how you're ducking the question? It's a simple question.
But it's on me. It's not about me. It's about the generational.
I'm asking your opinion.
No. Sneako, you're funny.
It's just a question.
No. No.
Bro, we make the girls on the panel answer questions specifically all the time. It's just, do you agree? Yes or no?
Personally, my decision has nothing to do with this discussion. I'm just saying for you, bro.
Politician answer.
I understand why you're saying that.
Yeah, you see, your thing is he's talking about how to become a high value guy. That's good advice.
I have a follow up question for
you're
the
eliminating fuck up bullshit, like shit that will fuck you up.
Can I ask her on the panel now, ladies here? What is your definition of a high value man? We could start with Kara on the couch.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for advocating for that just now. I appreciate a man saying that. But
well, you dodging like a motherfucker.
Wait, what was the title? What was the question? Sorry.
What are your qualifications for a high value man?
Okay.
What's your idea of a high value man?
A high value man is somebody who's successful, who is intelligent, who is hardworking, and who has integrity, and who's a genuine person.
We're gonna let them define it. You're not gonna give them a okay. All right. So their definition of what you're asking them what makes a high value man qualify? Okay.
What qualifies a man as high value?
Okay. Not
I
what
think
they
she answered
qualify. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you said what? Integrity. What else?
Integrity, being genuine, man of character.
Yeah, and also being good at what you do. I think too.
Okay. What if he's good at playing World of Warcraft?
No, like be good at something and in life, like be successful at something in life. Figure out what that is for you and be impressive in that way.
Okay.
Just to add to what you guys were talking previously, I'm gonna answer the question now. It's just like the example. I forgot his name on the top of my head, but you guys should know the famous soccer player from
Oh,
that his I guess he was getting a divorce or whatever, and most of his assets was towards his mom, like all of them. That's something that I would advise my son. Like, hey, if you feel doubts of who you're marrying or something like that, but you still love them, put everything under my name.
That wasn't the question.
No, I know. I just wanted to add to what was being spoken to previously. But what I think a high value man is ambition, integrity, like she said, honesty, loyalty, actual loyalty, and yeah, basically that's it. And hardworking.
okay.
Very similar to
What about you?
Not that different, honestly. Just being like hardworking, family oriented, like being there if we have a child, integrity too, like having their being focused on what they want to do in life, just not being all over the place.
All right.
Okay.
I just want someone that's loyal and genuine and like happy with me, I guess.
Well, maybe don't answer the question about who you want to be with, but what do you think qualifies a man as someone who's high value?
That is high value to me.
Okay.
Like honestly, you just need to be a good person, and I think that's high value.
Is your ex these traits?
Huh?
Is your ex loyal and genuine and a good person?
Was he? No.
So why do you hang out with him?
He's chill.
Because he's chill.
Yeah.
What the okay.
Because I want to. I don't know.
So he's not loyal or genuine or good?
No. Okay. So he's good.
Okay.
He's now genuine, and I believe now he is loyal.
So are you going?
But not before. I feel like people can grow. No.
Okay.
So, never mind. That's fine. Go ahead.
So I would say, like, to me, a high value man is someone that prioritizes like his health. So like health, like as in fitness, just like eating well, like skincare, things like that, and like, of course, like being ambitious, loyalty, communication, honesty.
Okay.
I agree with the health thing because I've met a whole bunch of guys that think that like taking care of themselves is very feminine and they're like very against it and things like that, and it leads to them just being dirty. But I think that a high value man is a man that has a goal in life and that I like a man with a lot of wisdom. I like a man that can tell stories and give advice, and it's actual good advice and they know what they're talking about. I also like a secure man. I think that a high value man is insecure in himself and he reps what he is and he doesn't care about like what other people have to say or what they're doing. I think it's a very high value man.
All right.
I think a high value man is a successful man, a man that comes with a family oriented, religious oriented, somebody who takes care of the person that is next to him, in a sense of like being a gentleman, opening the door, those little things that makes the big difference.
Okay.
Some traits of a high value man to me is someone who is respectful, also respected by others, treats other people how he wants to be treated, goal oriented, brave, courageous, works on himself always. Self-improvement is crucial. So whether that be health, spirituality, his physical body, always self-improving.
So I definitely think a high value man is who they are as a person. So I would want someone who has integrity, someone who has some sort of passion, something they're working towards. I really appreciate passion. I feel like it's something that drives me as well. So also I'd want them to be loyal and honest. So
I really think a high value man is if Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he's kind of at the top where he's at self-fulfillment and he's able to give back to others. So he's holding himself at a high value and he does everything in his power to become the best person he is. And then he's able to give back to other people too.
Okay.
What I think is a high value man, someone that's like more mature in a sense, like they're past the phase, like especially here in Miami, like blowing their money on tables and bottles and going out, like a high value man. A high value man to me is like a workaholic, has his like not his finances in order, but he knows how to spend his money rather than like waste it.
Okay. I realized today and like while traveling the world that I probably agree with women's idea of a high value man more than the red pill space's idea of a high value man.
How dare you?
I think women, did you see how none of them brought up finances really? None of them brought up like the way you look. None of them talked about like what you wear. And all of it is about character. It's
Sneako
about
took the TradCon pill, bro.
Yeah, it's about your personality.
It's important TradCon pill, bro.
No, look, it's important to have wealth and it's important to have status in mind. But that's what this space is kind of avoiding a lot of the time is that's an extremely important part of becoming high value. And if we actually want to raise a family, that's an extremely important part of male self-improvement.
Sneako, her man has these traits now. Why is she with him?
Did you say that?
What?
Your man has those traits?
He's not my man, but I think he's working towards it. That's why we're not together, because I don't
He's
wanna
working
be
toward
with
He's
him.
not there yet. They're in high school.
No.
She just said
it's a high school relationship. That's not a good comparison.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like the thing is that girls are gonna say things that are politically correct. And it sounds good. Like, oh, notice how she said a guy who has his finances in order. And then what did she say? Doesn't spend his money stupidly. That's having your finances. Like, I don't really care about finances, but like have their finance order, but not really. But like, just don't spend money stupidly.
On her
So
and
it's
the
like,
kids.
Like, I get it. Like the girls are on a podcast, they don't want to make themselves look like bad or whatever. But dude, I mean, let's just keep it 1,000. I always say it. All women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. They hide it up with words like passion or ambition or drive, goals. Like, hey man, look, man. You had that TradCon pill, bro. Like, because
so what's the alternative? Getting of a like, are we advocating towards getting a surgery which prevents you from having children? That's not even to compare that to birth control is insane. That surgery is not meant to be reversed. It's meant to be permanent. You didn't say like put on a condom or like be absent for a little bit. The red pill ideology is literally avoid family creation and get a dick surgery.
Sneako.
And you didn't even say no to that. You're like, well, maybe.
You have to understand context. What is the context? The context.
How to become a high value man from the red pill godfather.
Yes, but
the
when you're
fastest way, the quickest way to do it. That's important, dude. He said the quickest way to do it. Avoid family creation. Focus on making money. Go to the gym.
Get a vasectomy.
All the self-improvement stuff. Because a lot of guys, remember, dude, the average guy doesn't have much dick discipline. They'll get a girl pregnant when they're 18, 19, 20, 21. So if you got a vasectomy, what does it do? It makes it retard proof. He's giving advice for the lowest common denominator. Quickest way to be a high value guy for the lowest common denominator. That's the advice, dude. A lot of people will sit there. How many guys do you know that could have been stars that got a girl pregnant in high school?
Now, once again, context. This is not geared towards family. It's geared towards becoming successful in a high value light.
So who is the high value man? Who qualifies that? Because all the women in here, they just said that it's about ambition. It's about character, your personality. Is it you flexing for other guys? Who's qualifying? Like, who are you becoming high value for? Other dudes on the internet?
So ultimately, when you're done with that list, so to speak, and you're successful, you now are seen as a prize to women. So for example, yes, you could have a good personality, have good energy, good vibe. That's cool. But long term, becoming successful is going to be the key factor for most people. So he's just saying to get there faster, do these steps. Now, ultimately, like I said before, family-wise is not, I want to say, the best way.
And here's the other thing too, bro. I don't mean to call any of these ladies out, but they said a bunch of bullshit. They don't even care about any of these things unless they're attracted to you first. There's plenty
of what makes you attractive, though?
Well, hold on. But you're not going to give a fuck about his personality or being genuine or his integrity if he's not handsome enough or if he doesn't qualify.
But it wasn't talking about what they're attracted to. It's their idea of a high value man. And so then what's more important?
But they're not going to give that guy a chance unless he meets certain prerequisites. Girls always assume attraction when you ask them.
I feel like you're assuming that.
I'm assuming what?
That somebody, I feel like there's a lot of girls who you could use the word settle, you know, if it fits.
So
their
you'll
box.
accept integrity, passion, loyalty, and honesty. A homeless guy can give you that.
I mean, I think there's a lot of girls. I think you're exaggerating the situation, but I think there are a lot of girls.
It's not that. What I'm saying is that women give surface level answers that a multitude of men can actually give them. But the problem is that they only want it from a minority of men. Because girls, right? Because a lot of these things you guys mentioned, dude, you know how many guys can give you guys this? But y'all ain't picking them. Come on, man, let's operate in reality here. The dude, he doesn't even get to show you these traits unless he's attractive first. That's my point.
So what makes him attractive?
Maybe his height, maybe the way he speaks to you, his tonality, all these things.
His game.
How many guys you got in the friend zone right now?
What is the friend zone?
How many guys do you have
Male
right now
friends.
that you're friends with that you're not currently having sex with?
I don't know.
You're in the music industry, correct?
Yeah.
Guaranteed a bunch of guys that are in the
In
friend
my
zone.
inbox, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you talk to them and you know them, maybe they help you here and there, blah, 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 right? I guarantee a bunch of those guys have these things that you mentioned, but you ain't giving them a chance because they don't meet a look level yet, or they're not handsome enough, or they're not confident enough, or maybe they're not tall enough.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is that girls give surface level bullshit that a bunch of guys can get to them, but they're not attractive enough, so they don't care that these guys have these traits. So being high value, bro, it's like they only care about these traits and consider high value for when it's from the right guy.
Right. But let's not just talk about when it comes to being attractive. What's more important, being successful or having a family?
Having a family.
What do you guys think?
Successful.
Wait, for the man or for the woman?
It seems like the red pill ideology is that being successful is more important. It's not about attracting a woman. Like, what's more important for a man? What should a man's priority be? Having a family or being successful?
Being successful first every single time, because then you have the ability to choose. But
not anymore. Not if you get the vasectomy, then you can't have the family.
Dude, you can undo a vasectomy. Like, I don't know why you keep saying like you can undo a vasectomy.
It's that one
point. Sometimes.
It's that one point that has you tripped out. Remember, dude,
but it says avoid family creation. Like we
at the beginning stages, bro. Man, dude, that's not a long term. That's a short term.
He said quickest way, which means short term strategy to building your value up as quickly as possible. That's retard proof. That's not going to get you in a jam.
I'm not saying that you should have a kid when you're extremely young, but I am saying that we should be focused on becoming good fathers too. Just like we make fun of girls for prioritizing their careers and wanting to be girl bosses and wanting to build an empire, they're not prioritizing motherhood immediately. And then we're saying, men, ignore family creation, get a vasectomy so you could focus on getting rich. And then you'll be 40, you'll have all these hoes and girls, and then start a family. Like, how are we building men to become good fathers if they've been only prioritizing success, if they have a dick surgery? How do they have the character that's going to lead a proper family?
So you're saying
because they dealt with a bunch of hoes first, so they know what a good woman is.
So you're saying us as men, when we're young, should have kids early, right?
No,
that's
not what he said.
No, but what's the priority then? Family or success?
It doesn't mean that you need to have kids young, but it shouldn't be avoid family creation in your head. That's an important thing to think about when you're young too. How am I going to have the character? How am I going to have the maturity, the responsibility to become a good father when I am ready to do it?
So what age should men have kids then?
I would say early 30s is probably ideal.
30s?
Yeah, I would say like early 30s, mid 30s.
See, you just proved that point. That list is for people in their 20s. Not their 30s.
Well, there you go. You have a vasectomy, you can't have kids in your early 30s. That's the point of the surgery.
No.
You can maybe reverse it, but you can't have, like, that's what that surgery is permanent.
So all my 20s, what should I be doing?
You should be working on your character. You should be working on your maturity. You should be getting closer to God. A lot of the things that we're praising the women for to become a good mother, that's important things for men to focus on too.
I work on character.
I didn't say be broke. It's equally important to work on your finances. Women aren't going to say that, of course. I'm telling guys, you should get rich as possible too. But you should also be working on like building your character and looking at how I'm going to raise my kids and how I'm going to be a good father. If you're 40 and you have all these hoes and you have experience with hoes, is that going to make you a better father? Probably not. You'll just know how to avoid a bad woman. But it's not that you don't need to fuck 100 women to realize what a hoe is. A hoe is a girl. You look at her Instagram, you know she's a hoe or not. You don't need to get all these women in order to understand that.
No, you don't.
Can I
Once again,
interject?
you need to be able to decipher from experience who's a hoe and who's not. We're just saying, look.
Do you think it's that hard to see who a hoe is?
Bro, come on. Really?
I feel overall men should have a self-control when they're in their early 20s. Yes, by nature, like, you know, you're going to go be promiscuous and all of this, but you also can have if you're working to get closer to God, you will create a self-control within yourself to not be sexually like promiscuous and just having sex with everyone and get someone pregnant.
And
you could use a condom too.
Can I say too, I think what Sneako's also trying to explain is that when you have a culture that bashes Western women about how we're focusing on the wrong things when we're young, but then you praise men for perpetuating that culture, I think what Sneako is trying to say is we need to teach men to have similar values to where we can come to the same page so that we don't damage each other and hurt each other in our 20s. And then you're 40, you're a 40-year-old man and you have a bunch of young bimbos around you and you don't know how to have a relationship with somebody who's quality.
Okay.
I mean, what's the funny part?
That sounds great. I'm laughing because because the thing is that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. You just heard all these girls' answers.
What is
that
feminism?
Quite literally
Girl
what
boss
indoctrinated
queen,
you to give
yeah.
the answers you just gave a second ago.
Can you
Feminism.
explain it?
Feminism.
Building an empire.
Yeah. Like all of you guys gave very masculine answers when we asked you. First it was, do you want to be a mom? Then we asked you, what are you working on right now to be a mom in the future? All of you gave masculine answers to be able to provide, work on your education, whatever, which is cool. But what I'm saying is that all of you guys are young and your answers show the indoctrination that feminism is here and it's not going anywhere. It's even seeping into women from foreign countries. So, Sneako, I get what you're saying, bro.
So
And
isn't it better advice?
Here, let me just finish real quick. In an ideal world, I wish it was 1950. I wish we could go back to guys getting married at 21, 22, having a wife that is great and everything else like that, the TradCon life. But those days are gone, bro. Right. Like if guys sit here and say, I really want to be a dad, and they don't have sexual experience, they're setting themselves up for failure. You can see all these TradCon relationships going down the tubes. And I get it. Like it sucks. It's fucked up. But at the end of the day, men are the ones that risk everything when they become a father, when they get married, etc. Women are incentivized to leave the guy. So we're operating in 2023 standards, not 1950 standards.
Women risk their bodies to give birth to kids. How can you say they don't risk anything?
Bro. Seriously?
Yeah.
Let
me ask you a question. Hold on. Okay.
Go ahead.
Who has to bring more to the table to get a relationship? The man or the woman?
The woman.
Really?
The man.
Thank you. Someone's operating logistically.
I mean, at first,
logically.
yeah, the man has to, most of the times court the women, but at the end of the day, like.
Well, no. What does he have to even be able to court the woman?
I mean, whatever she thinks is attractive to her, whether physical or, mentally.
Okay, let me answer it for you because you don't want to be blunt about it. Women look for certain things: height, income, strength, competence, confidence, ambition, all these things that take time to acquire. When a man gets with a woman, he's effectively 9 out of 10 times better than her in most regards. That's the truth. Women don't date down, they date up.
And you answer this so confidently because you yourself are a woman?
I know exactly what women want because men, unlike women, have to know what women want to get them, but women don't have to know what men want to get them.
Yeah, and you date those guys, so.
Like the reality is men have to approach women, correct?
Majority of the times, but I think with these
men have to ask women on dates, correct?
Majority of the time.
Men have to initiate conversation.
Majority.
Men have to plan a date.
Majority.
So effectively, they have to understand women to get sex, correct?
Correct.
Women are on the receiving end, which means they're the ones being courted, correct?
In the beginning stages, correct.
Yes. So in other words, the guy has to bring a lot to the table to even get a chance to be able to court the girl, correct?
At the beginning stages, correct.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is that men must bring way more to the table to even get the attention of a woman. So therefore, when they get in the relationship with the girl, they're bringing more resources and bringing more to the table than women do in general. Men don't ask much for women, but women ask a lot from men. So,
yeah, I think that's really. I think that's based on your relationship.
I think that men ask for a lot more than they think they ask for, but when it comes to resources, yes, you guys do come with a lot and you guys do bring a lot and provide for us. But I think when it comes to mental, spiritual, and things like that, we provide a lot for men.
It's not tangible, though.
Yes, it's not tangible, but when you work on your spiritual, your mental, it elevates everything in your life. Because if you look at people who are making money, where is their mind space at?
They don't pay the bills. Yeah. Listen,
money pays the bills.
That's what I'm saying. What you're bringing to the table is nice, is great. But ultimately, for the family to actually survive, you got to pay the bills.
If you look at empires, who is the woman on side of the man?
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
Pretty much.
But she's there.
The kings are known.
But she's there.
Yeah, but in the background, we're saying ultimately for a family to work, money is going to be important.
Money is extremely important. But the part that I disagree with you, Myron, is that I understand. We agree that feminism has completely ruined most women in the West.
Yeah.
But the advice from the space is instead of navigating that, instead of trying to find a good woman, get a vasectomy and then sleep with all of them and then understand their nature. Why not just understand that a lot of these women are unwifeable and then navigate around that instead and just not spend your time and invest your energy into women that you don't even respect or like in the first place?
Even if you do find a traditionally conservative woman that will sit there and be a good wife,
She'll crowder you.
Huh?
She'll Steven Crowder
She
you.
can still crowder you because the thing is, people. This is what I want guys to understand. Even if your girl loves you, whatever, and you know you guys have a relationship, everything else like that, the upside of her leaving you is so high, like she gets so much benefit that a lot of the time women aren't going to sit there and deal with it. The duty, they're like, fuck that. I can get half his money, get the kid, get child support, live this same lifestyle, and go date someone else that's going to make me happy.
I'm not even advocating towards marriage. I'm advocating towards family creation. Well, I think it's worthwhile to get married within the church or within the mosque and then avoid that whole legal battle. Don't give away half your money. Get married
then
within
we can
religion.
have a conversation.
That's my point. I never said that other thing. You think I'm going the TradCon route? It's over. Like Steven Crowder's wife proved that that's going to happen. They were married when they were virgins. They were the only people. And then she still said, "You're emotionally abusing me." Garbage. That video was edited. She stole it. Women are incentivized to do it. Hakimi, she brought that up on the couch. It's not a good idea. But if you get married within a religion, and then you could give her.
There's still some states that will look at that as a marriage of the state, dude.
And child support.
We
as
had
well.
a whole podcast with lawyers on that.
There's no escape, bro. Child support. And then, dude, once again, those things you mentioned before, if you're together too long in the same household, that's your wife.
Okay, so don't even do it. Just give her the ceremony. Most of these women, they just want to put on a dress and they want to feel pretty. They want to take pictures.
They want the whole ceremony.
If you're actually high value, yeah, they'll do the ceremony. It doesn't mean you need to get like legally married. If you can get around
the
that,
papers, bro.
They don't want the papers. They don't give a fuck about the papers. They just want the pictures in the wedding dress.
It's like
Bro, I get the ideals that you want, which is perfect. I think 100% it should be that way, but it's not, bro. It's not.
Yeah,
I know it's not, but there's better ways. My point, there's better ways to navigate it than getting a surgery that prevents you from having children. That's just not good advice. If you that's extremely black pill. That's not going to create a good future society.
Right.
Here's my thing. I'm saying women are not going to concede on feminism. They're going to continue to progress. They're going to continue to chase careers. They're going to continue to be ambitious and make money. This is the future of the women. All these girls here are young. So what I'm saying is that as men, you need to acclimate to the new environment. Women prioritize money and success now more than family a lot of the times, and that's fine.
Okay.
So you got to acquiesce to that new normal.
Can I get a yes or no on this question?
Hold on, real quick. Rolo's here in the chat. He says, a lot of presumption going on today. Getting a vasectomy doesn't have to mean banging random
Right, so he's
chicks.
advocating for a vasectomy. I want to hear a yes or no, at least. Myron, like yes or no,
what?
Should the men watching this get a vasectomy to become a high-value man in their 20s?
Again, I told you, it's a sliding scale on the male. If the guy makes money and he's promiscuous, having a vasectomy might be a good move for him. But if you're a dude, you're not smashing girls like that, or maybe you have a monogamous relationship, then maybe no. Just wear a condom. Don't be a retard. But it depends on the individual, man.
You don't have
Because
a
you
hard
gotta remember-
stance on this?
No, you can't, because here's the thing with men. Men don't have the same sexual options that women do. There's a minority of men that are fucking all the girls. We know this. So you can't put the same set of rules on one set of guys as other guys, because other guys don't have the ability or the option to even get the girls.
I think it's equivalent to like having a stance on abortion. You can either be pro-life or pro-choice. You're pro-choice, for example, you're pro-choice. I'm pro-life. I don't think that people should think of abortion as a birth control option. Like, I think a vasectomy can be as hard as that. I think it's the equivalent. It's like an abortion for men. I think you should have a hard stance on an issue like this.
You ever use a plan B? Don't like.
Yeah.
Nigga, shut up, bro.
Plan B's not abortion.
Yo,
Plan
bro,
B's not
it is
abortion.
pre-abortion, bro. Come on, man.
It's for the mental security, not for the killing the baby thing.
You funny, Sneako. You funny. You
Are you really going to equate a Plan B to an abortion?
Nigga, you just said
that's not the same thing. We all know that's not the same thing. You have to go into the clinic.
Baby, Sneako.
I didn't kill no baby. I just didn't want the panic. I didn't want the text. I just wanted to go the clarity.
No vasectomy, right?
Yeah.
No plan Bs then.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
No, man.
That's fair. I've done it in my past, but I don't advocate towards that. I would say it's probably not the best option to think of plan B as an
His new
option.
name is Sneakon.
Sneak on. 2023.
Sneak conservative, man.
Oh man.
What, you're not a conservative?
Here's the thing. I have conservative views on most things, but there are some things that I just have to operate on 2023 standards, bro. I wish it was 1950, Sneako. I really do, bro. I wish I could. And here's the other thing too.
I'm not saying it's 1950. I'm not going forward with the TradCon mentality. I'm saying that it's just better to avoid these women and try to.
You gotta go somewhere else.
That's
okay. Then
that's better advice than
cool.
It's better advice than like.
Let's be look, bro. Most Americans don't have passports. Let's keep it all the way 1,000. Most Americans never leave the United States.
Well, we tell guys to go get their money up and get in shape. Why can't you tell these guys to get a passport?
Okay,
if they I agree. That's you can find good women in America. The problem is to find good women that actually want to be with you and with your family. Genuinely, is going to be tough because most men are visible.
Yeah, we agree on that.
Right. So we're just saying, have your options, but you need to know how to filter. And these steps that Rolo said earlier can
okay, stop ducking. Hard stance. Pro or con? Yes
I'm
or
going to
no?
give you this. As a man, you got to decide for yourself. Individual stance and goals will determine.
Advice for your audience. They really value. You guys are the number one men's self-help podcast in the world, right?
Yeah.
I think this is an important issue to have a stance on.
I'm going to ask you directly. So, audience, as a man, right, you have to decide for yourself, what do you want? Do you want a family or do you want to be successful? But ultimately, what leads to what? I'm just saying, personally speaking, if you're successful, you have a better chance of getting a better family. And at the same time, proving Rolo's point, vasectomies do help certain men because, once again, men are horny as fuck, bro. They want to fuck bitches. So once they fuck girls, what happens with, like you said earlier, plan Bs, because things do happen. So to avoid this mistake or things happening out of wedlock, you should actually get.
I think you're looking into the vasectomy way too much.
Yeah.
He's giving advice to make it retard proof, bro.
Pretty much.
I understand that, but now I think we can go further, and I think our value system is different. I think that overall, in your life experience, the happiest state you're ever going to be in is with children, with grandchildren. I don't want to die. Like I could be in my funeral bed and have a bunch of Lambos and watches around me, but that's not going to make me happy. I want to have my grandchildren there.
Okay.
That is the most important part of your legacy.
That's fair.
Do you agree with what's more important to you?
No, I agree. Having a family is good for your legacy, 100%.
Is that the most important?
But how you get there is very important because, once again, if you're broke, you can't help your family. And what's the point of having a family? You pretty much, like, to me, personally speaking, if you can't afford to raise a family, there's no point having a family.
Facts.
No, you're a bum like Chris. That's not cool, bro. Sorry, Chris. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Sneako, you're kind of like, men don't adhere to the same timeline that women do. Like, women have a finite amount of time to find a man. You know what I mean? Like, for you ladies that are in your mid 20s, 30s, etc., like, y'all need to like really rush and get pregnant and have a family. For us, bro, you can have kids until you're 40, 50, whatever it may be. And you might be a better dad at that age because you're more experienced. You have your money.
Mature.
You can put your kids in private school versus putting them in public. You can really, your woman doesn't have to work, so she can stay and raise the kids. So I look at it like, okay, I might put off kids for 10 years, right? And I'm putting off the family, but I worked at it 10 years extra. Now my wife don't got to work.
Ooh.
Now my kids can go to private. Now my kids have a driver. Now we're in the best neighborhood. Now I don't got to worry about shit. So is it worth it to have a family younger when I could have acquired more status and resources to give the children a better life?
Ladies,
I would say that 10 years is worth it because as a man, that you're not on that time clock.
Ladies, real quick, what do you prefer? Having kids early on with your high school sweetheart, or having kids later on with someone that's successful and can take care of you and the family? What do you prefer?
Later on.
What do you prefer?
Later.
Definitely later.
Later.
On the between like now and 30s, like 27.
So in
30s.
between.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think later, but also really depends on like where the man is too. Like,
So you want kids now?
no, but that's because also I can't talk. Like, it's not like there's a man in my life where I've met someone and I'm like, oh, I could have a kid.
What if you did? You want kids right now? Be honest. Don't cap. I'm watching you right now.
Me, I'm not in the position. I
Okay.
have other things.
What about you?
I would say later,
Later?
with the right person, maybe soon.
For you?
Later.
For you?
Later.
For you?
Oh, well, I basically waited till later. So
yeah,
later.
you,
yeah.
No.
you're
But I don't think he's explaining like to have it at a young age. Like, I think he's explaining that it's just to have a family. I mean, it depends also what you guys consider of like what is being rich, what is being successful, having money. I mean, you could be a middle class man, find a good woman, and have a family. You
Where?
know,
Middle class is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Nowadays is the have or have nots. But what about you?
Later.
So ultimately, Sneako, you can see here on the panel, women prefer a mature, successful man that can take care of the family, not just someone that's going to be character build and what's the other one you said? More mature.
Good father.
Good father. So just saying.
Good father.
Yeah, but I talked to a lot of guys. Actually, you know, Tristan Tate specifically said like he actually wished he had kids when he was younger. I think he had his first daughter when he was in his early 30s. And he said, I probably should have.
He was successful, Sneako.
No, when he was 24, 25, he wasn't. They were broke until they were like 28. That's when they made their first million. They talk about all the failed business they've had. I've talked to a lot of fathers who at a certain point, they're like, yeah, there's no reason why I shouldn't have had kids earlier. It actually like makes you become a better provider. You become more mature sooner. I've seen a lot of benefits to having kids young that isn't advocated. And I understand, like, you don't want to have kids with the wrong person, but it will build you as a man from what people tell me more than anything else. Like, it gives you more responsibility. It gives you a bigger purpose in life. It's going to give you that extra motivation that
I better see with a kid next year, nigga.
Facts.
Yeah, that shit.
And I would argue, how many dads are deadbeats?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Many. So that point is mute because, bro, once again, that can be a possibility, but is it a probability? Is it really gonna happen? Who knows? It's up to fate. I'm just saying, personally speaking, your odds are better off.
Yeah, but the odds that the 19,000 people watching are going to become high value men is as equal as they're going to become successful fathers. We say you need to become a high value man. Why don't we say you should also become a high value father?
Right.
Because you become a high value father from conquering other things, so that when you come home, your son looks at you as the hero.
You don't think you could conquer and raise a kid at the same time?
What's that?
You can't conquer and have kids at the same time? Why not? Why do you need to go conquer the world before you have kids? Why can't the two?
Because it becomes very difficult for you to conquer the world while simultaneously being the best father. I think it's best to become that superhero, build it, then have the children, and they look up to you. So when your kid walks into a room, he's like, "Oh, you're such and such son." I look at it like that. Like, fuck, your kid shouldn't even be looking at like superheroes or athletes. They should be like, "I want to be like my fucking dad." Like, that's how I look at it. And for you to be that guy, you have to build it first, man. It takes decades.
I mean, I thought of my dad as a superhero my whole time growing up, and he wasn't like high value, like extreme status with a bunch of Lamborghinis. He works a normal job, but I always looked up at him as a superhero because of like how he was in the home and how he was raising us. You don't have to be a conqueror to think of like to admire your dad and respect your dad. A lot of it is about the character and the way that they raise you. That was the most important thing. I always saw him as a superhero, but you know, he didn't conquer the world.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's subjective, but I would argue in today's social media world with television and everything else like that, I mean, dude, it's very competitive. So I think as a man, you should build it, have the family, everything is established, castle's already built, it's good to go. Now, is it great and gratifying to build something with a woman and have children in the process and kind of figure it out as you go? That's great too. But I would argue in today's day and age, with the economy getting worse, the nuclear family dying, the fact that inflation is a big thing, you need to make more money to survive. Like, the days of figuring it out like the 1950s on one income are done, bro. Like, if you don't have your shit together as a man and you're not providing, like, your wife shouldn't even be working, in my opinion. I don't think your girl should work. I think if she does want to work, it's
unless she
elective.
wants to.
But for you to be able to do that, yeah, I think she should be working electively, not mandatory. You work mandatory, she works electively. For you to be able to give your woman that privilege, you got to really bust your ass.
Yeah,
you do. We agree on that completely financially, but I see that as part of the big decline of the West. And I understand that we're teaching men how to operate in a society that is not incentivized for you to have a family. But that's the only solution to fix this problem is to raise some good children and have a good family. That's the only fix.
It's not changing, bro. That's what I'm trying to, like, feminism is here. I'm trying to tell you, like, feminism is here. It's not, they're not conceding.
Yeah.
Like, women don't want to be wives. They want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. When half the population doesn't want to be wives, you can't force them. And then on top of that, most women, let's keep it 1,000, don't like most men. An average dude 50 years ago, I'm telling you, an average dude 50, 60 years ago could have had a regular factory job and gotten a dutiful wife that would stay home, be able to raise a family. Nowadays, women are like, fuck this shit. I could get my own money. Why do I need to be saddled to this average guy? Fuck that. I'm going to chase my own education. A big part of feminism is it allows women to get better guys. Most women don't like most men, bro. That's just how it is.
You got a point?
Sorry, please.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys were talking earlier about how the market in the West is bad. about how women just want to chase
Yeah,
dreams
kill
and
Twitter
goals.
and Facebook. Sorry.
And
continue.
how Sneako was saying, after traveling, there's a lot of different cultures that, really respect certain things, like especially in Asian cultures, and I'm sure in like European cultures, family is huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't knock it that you just said with social media and the internet, everything's getting globalized.
Yeah.
So these Western cultures are just going to continue spreading. So to say that to have passport bros and to just outsource your market isn't going to work in the long term, because it looks like these values, like you said, feminism is here to stay. So I think that
in the United States, yes.
I think Sneako is right. Like, you have to start now. Like, it starts with your legacy and what you're doing to change the future.
Oh, really? Okay. You know what? Quit your job. Go find a man.
Right now.
There you go.
Right now.
Like, bro, this is too easy. Like, yo, like, you really want to?
It sounds good.
It starts here. Quit your job. Go get an average dude working at a factory, making 30 or 40K per year, and have a family with him.
But you just said
exactly.
Women,
That's my point.
No. You said women now are, like everybody said here, being financially stable is so important, right?
Yes.
Because in today's age, one income isn't going to work, right?
Oh, wait.
You triggered my trap
this
card.
Is too fucking easy. Proving my point even more. Like, you say, oh, we go back to traditional. Okay, quit your job, be a traditional woman, find a guy that's average.
I didn't say quit traditional. I was saying that as time continues and globalization will continue, the Western ideals and feminism is just going to continue to prosper.
Yeah.
So why would you tell people to outsource and go to different
because
countries?
There's other places in the world where it hasn't seeped yet, and more than likely, I hate to say it, the poorer the country, typically the more ingrained people are in their gender roles.
Colombia.
This is why places like Colombia, Brazil, etc. Guys are going to these countries because the women are traditionally feminine, the men are traditionally masculine, because they have to be based on the country's economy and agricultural, etc.
Yeah, but that's not going to last forever. So what are you going to do when,
That's true. There's always going to be richer countries and poorer countries. That's going to last forever.
I think there would definitely be a difference, but I think the ideology in feminism is going to continue, like you said.
It will, but it's
what
not
are you guys
going to.
do?
It's not going to spread at the same rate in other places, and other places might not accept it at all. You look at very religious countries, right? You look at like a Saudi Arabia, etc. They're never accepting that shit. They just let women drive.
Even in Colombia, people are finding out about like that gold mine, so to speak, and it's like a splash of like things going on there, but it's not fully taken over the whole country.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. Like, it's not going nowhere, but I mean, my example just proved it just now. Like, you're not going to yield on and concede on your feminist views, and a lot of women aren't. So I mean, you're not going to quit your job, right?
Not at the moment, no.
Exactly, you're not. So, and a lot of you won't, which is cool. But I'm telling guys, don't expect women to change. They're not gonna. So you have to adapt to the market.